Meanwhile, the Biden administration pardoning Americans with federal simple marijuana possession convictions.
This change will affect thousands of Americans. Danielle Zukoski joins us now live to break down the local reaction to this. Danielle.
Well, on top of those federal pardons, the president is calling on governors to pardon people for state-level crimes. Here in Indiana, Governor Holcomb has not yet responded to that, but locally there has been some mixed opinions.
I think it's a great move. We meet a lot of people in the community who are being held back by the fact that they do have these prior marijuana convictions. I don't think people realize that some of the collateral consequences to these types of offenses.
Ryan Mears says a marijuana possession charge can affect someone's ability to get housing, financial aid for education, or employment. Cindy Carrasco is challenging Mears in the upcoming Marion County prosecutor's election. In a statement to News 8, she said in part, if President Biden was serious about updating federal marijuana laws, he should call on Congress to modernize any marijuana laws that burden the criminal justice system. It is up to Congress and state legislatures to make any further changes they see fit. I look forward to these conversations.
This is something that's basically looking backwards and looking back at individuals who had previously been convicted of possession of marijuana.
The Marion County Prosecutor's Office does not prosecute simple possession charges, meaning anything less than 30 grams. Mears says his office will prosecute public consumption and driving while under the influence.
We don't prosecute that simple possession of marijuana because we are focused on violent crime, and we don't want to devote our resources to something prosecuting a joint. We don't think that makes our community safer.
On this topic, Carrasco said, as I have said from day one, I am not running for Marion County prosecutor to focus on small possession of marijuana. Under my leadership, the prosecutor's office will use a common-sense approach on a case-by-case basis. In his announcement, the president noted there is a racial disparity when it comes to who is charged and prosecuted for simple possession.
In particular, when you look at the racial disparities that exist between who's ultimately prosecuted for possession of marijuana, and you compare that to marijuana usage rates across races, there's a very clear disparity there. And when we see those type of inequities in our criminal justice system, it's important that the prosecutor's office acts.
The president also announced a review of how marijuana is treated under federal law. Reporting live, Danielle Zukoski, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
Danielle, thank you. Wish TV medical expert and former Surgeon General Dr. Jerome Adams tweeting this out shortly after the president's announcement. He says, significant announcement by POTUS. He effectively decriminalizes marijuana from a federal perspective, regardless of how you feel about this. We can't, as I've previously stated, normalize youth use or ignore the harms of high-potency THC on developing brains.